Hey, what's going on? It's Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge, on the Conscious Finance Podcast with my co-host Gven Sariol. What's up, Gven?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
All right, man. Doing good, man. Just grinding as usual. Just got back from Amsterdam.
Oh, wow.
That was interesting. I thought I was going to go there and, just get some naps. No, it was nonstop grind, nonstop work. But shout out to Mind Valley University. And thank you to them for having me come out there and speak and do a keynote. The keynote was packed. 800 people came, standing ovation. It was incredible. Yeah.
Wow. Fantastic, really nice. Man. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I had a few friends out there, you included. But that Mind Valley University is like growing like crazy. They're just all over the place.
Yeah. Huge.
When I open up my my Instagram, I'm just flooded with people from Mind Valley, which is great. It's incredible. So now you're part of that family, which is really good. So
yeah. I'm in the Mind Valley family, that's for sure. So shout out to Vision, for giving me a shot and letting me come out there. A lot of the speakers that attended my keynote jumped up and gave me rave reviews and said that I needed to be on stage for 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was cool. That was cool. It's good to feel that love and support. I took them through a journey. The topic was self-love and manifestation. And I took them through a journey because the most important person you can love in the entire universe is yourself.
100%.
People want to love everything else and everyone else except for themselves. And until you love yourself properly, you'll never be able to truly feel what real love is. And so I went through that, and I talked in about manifestation and how they link together. And I kind of took them on a journey through every emotion that they had: fear, anxiety, sadness, and joy, exhilaration. And when I got done with them, they went on a roller coaster ride with me. So it was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow. Man. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I saw some of the content while you were out there, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Yeah. And I agree with you, like loving yourself, like, everybody's, oh no, I love myself, but it's like, what are you doing? Are you drinking too much alcohol? Are you smoking too much weed? Are you, even now with mushrooms, everybody's all on mushrooms, like, are you doing too much mushrooms? Right. Yeah. And it's really like deteriorating people. Right. And so you're like, no, man, like, it's cool to smoke a little bit of weed every once in a while, if that's what you want to do, or, maybe drink a little bit of alcohol every once in a while. But it's like the way that people do it, it's like, you ain't loving yourself, and that's part of my hero's journey, and I can say that because, at one point in time I was drinking like crazy. And if you would have asked me back then, of course I love myself, but I'm like, my actions spoke louder than my words, and when you really do that, like, I don't know if you ever done this, but like, you look in the mirror and you give yourself a hug and you look straight into your eyes and you tell yourself you love yourself. I mean, it's a powerful thing. I've done that with people after I got cancer. I really started doing that. And then I started showing people how to do that. And people would like break down and cry. Like, some of them couldn't even say it while they were looking at themselves.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
I know.
So that's a powerful speech, man. That's a powerful speech.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, man. So
so
I'm back now. Yeah.
Well, good to have you back, brother. And like, I don't know. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about, this whole thing. I didn't even know that this actually was going down. But Klaus Schwab, right? The founder of the WEF, right? The founder of the WEF. He ended up recently, which, you know, like I always knew he just looks like a bad guy. You know, he just looks like the villain, a super villain, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm going through Twitter while I was away. I also just got back home from being away a month and a half in Russia. And I'm searching through Twitter last week, and I see this thing where there's like these allegations against Klaus Schwab. And it was like, and I'm on Twitter a lot, you know, and just for crypto and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there going like, how did I not see this? How did I not see that he got, you know, accused of like some form of like sexual harassment, totally abused the bank accounts over there. Like him and his wife were jet setting on millions of dollars from, you know, the web, which, you know, one of the biggest contributors to the WEF is like the United States governments, right? So they're taking our tax dollars for this regime that was never, ever voted in by any of us, right? That's determining, you know, policies for all of us. And they end up, some whistleblower comes out and says, you know, hey, this guy's doing this stuff. He's spending thousands of dollars on massages. He got 15 massages come to his room. And I was sitting there like, how did I not hear about this? And this went down like, I think in like April or something of this year. So he ended up stepping down. I didn't even know he stepped down. It was like so quiet. There was like so little media press coverage on this. And it seemed like they buried it. And then I see who, like, it comes up a couple days later. So this comes up in my feed, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, no, this isn't true. This is just like, you know how sometimes people put in like Twitter, they'll just put BS. There's so much BS, right?
Yeah, I know.
So I go in and I Google it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is real.
Yeah.
You know? And this is like one of just the, I don't know, for me, with all the lockdowns, with all the policy on COVID, especially, like I didn't really like care much for the guy before that. Like he just looked like a super villain, but I was like, okay, I don't even know what that guy's name is. But once COVID came around and all these lockdowns, and they're determining how many feet you should be away from yourselves and how you shouldn't spend Christmas with each other, and how, you know, how everybody needs to get the, you know what? And I'm like, no, I don't like this guy. Like this guy needs to go, you know? So when I hear this stuff and I see it, I'm like, oh, wow, this is a big deal for them to be throwing their founder, the founder of this huge thing, under the bus. But then I saw who they're replacing him with. And I was like, oh boy. Okay. Oh, wow.
They
So
got
anyways,
a puppet.
do you know about this?
Yeah. It's just wild. It happened a few months back.
Yeah.
You know, it was just very hush. They swept it under the rug. They know that human beings have a very short memory span. And the easiest way to make it seem like it's just lost and forgotten is nobody goes to jail. So this guy gets no formal charges against him. He has no repercussions to pay for all the taxpayer money that he gallivanted around the world on, and all the fancy gifts and everything he bought with hardworking single mothers, paycheck money. He's just walking around still free. You know, all he got was a little slap on the wrist, a little fine. He gets to resign, and he still gets his parachute money. It's a shame, man, what they do, what they allow to happen. You know, but then they'll bust a guy around the corner for selling a $5 bag of weed and put him in jail for years. Crazy. I don't get, you know, this thing is out of control, man. This whole system has got to be shut down. It's bad. It's a bad system.
It does. It is bad. And you know, like, this is one of the reasons why I'm like such a fan of decentralization, right? Like, what is Klaus Schwab, who I've never met before, who's not a part of my community, who's nowhere near aligned, determining policy for me in a totally other country? I didn't elect him. I don't care. Like, this guy has totally different views than me, you know, and I'm just sitting here going like, what is this? What kind of world are we living in right now where all of this happens? And, you know, you and I talked about this the other day. You went on a rant about it even before you and I talked about it, which is like the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. It's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, no, that doesn't matter. Like, don't look over there.
There's no list.
Yeah, there's no list. What are you, stupid or something? We're totally fucking gaslighting. Sorry, gaslighting. Yeah. I'm just pissed.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I understand. Listen, matter of fact, he wasn't even locked up. It was an illusion.
It was an illusion. He's probably still walking around somewhere.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? They took him out, or they disappeared him, or whatever the hell they did with him. They sent him to Mars. Who knows? But either way, it's just wild that this list, which remember Pam Bondi holding it up in the air, right, from the White House lawn. We've got the list. And then that was the end of it.
and all those influencers, right? And I'm like sitting there like, oh man, Bill Clinton's going down today. Bill Gates, they're all going to jail, you know, like all these people that went, all these influencers. You remember that? They're holding their binders up like, yes, we finally got it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, we haven't released the whole thing. It's a lot of redaction. And I'm like sitting here like, what?
Yeah. I made a podcast months ago breaking down why that list would never come out. And it was basically because the Epstein is just one. He's only one of dozens of Mossad puppets in America. He's just one. The reason why we know Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell is because they made themselves popular by being in front of cameras. They love the limelight. They love the Hollywood life. They love to be around the famous people. Now, the other ones, the other quote unquote Epstein types are here, but you don't even know who they are. And they're still around these same people, but they are not in the limelight, but they are negotiating and collaborating and setting up these meetups, right? Which is sex trafficking, child trafficking. It's involved drug trafficking, arms trafficking, and of course the trade-off of classified documents. There are recorded conversations. So people say, well, why would they? What's the purpose of these Mossad people? Well, they're recording conversations between politicians and leaders that shouldn't be had. They're getting their hands on classified documentation. They are setting up meet and greets with young underage boys and girls. All this is for the purpose of what? Not entertainment, blackmail. And these poly tricksters and these leaders and these religious leaders and all these other people, their IQ is so low that they can't tell that they're being set up. The prince, you know, whatever his name is over there, Andrew, they can't even realize that they're just being set up for blackmail. So these Mossad puppets, which Epstein was just one, collect all this data. They send this data straight back to Israel. And then Israel says, hey, man, we got a lot more dirt on y'all. Not only do we have dirt on you, but we also have sleeper cells in America, like the same sleeper cell that did 9/11. And if you don't do what we tell you to do, we will unleash hellfire on America in random locations, and we will tear you down with all this blackmail we have on you. So they've got old Donnie Boy bent over the barrel. And they're not even going to spit on it. They're just going to go raw mushroom tipping him. So, okay, raw mushroom tipping old Donnie Boy. So that's why he goes, okay, I got to play the game. Netanyahu, you're the greatest man on earth. You know, oh my goodness, there's nothing going on in Palestine. And oh yeah, we're going to give them a nice home somewhere and all this, you know, we're going to drop a bomb on Iran to prove our allegiance to, you know.
Yeah,
he didn't want to do that stuff, to be quite honest with you, but he had to because of the blackmail. The Mossad puppets that they have out here have a significant amount of blackmail, and these people don't want to lose their positions of power. They don't want to be embarrassed in front of the world, and so they acquiesce to the Zionism, and they do the bidding for them.
Yeah, Oh man, it's just, it's so sad. It's so, I don't know, you know, like I actually try to stay away from the news as much as I can. It's hard sometimes. Like even on my YouTube feed, you know, I like YouTube. I like YouTube and X for my crypto stuff, right? But man, the algorithm is alive, right? The algorithm is alive. So I've had to like really, like anything regarding Epstein, I just like, don't show me this stuff anymore. Like I don't even want to see it anymore because it's just like there's so much gaslighting going on. It's exhausting, you know? And going back to like what we were saying at the beginning of this, like you're not loving yourself. Like you're just enraging yourself even more. And this is why, like, you know, I've dedicated my life to doing what I want, what I'm doing right now, which is like, you know, growing the decentralized finance network, because that's the one thing which they're coming after now, right? They're coming after it. BlackRock is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin, if not the largest holder.
Yeah.
You know, and they say this, and it's kind of true, but it's kind of not. Like, you know, BlackRock holds the most amount of Bitcoin, but they're holding it on behalf of their investors, right? That's what they're always saying. Like, oh no, but we're holding it on behalf of our investors who buy the ETF. You know, but like, go back to like the 1930s when those guys ended up taking your gold away. You know, they're, gold's in the vault. Yeah, all that's ours.
Yeah,
we'll give you fair market value, but all that is ours. And by the way, it's illegal to sell it, hold it after this.
That's a real executive order.
Yeah. So what do you think they would do with your Bitcoin if the same thing happened, right? Like if it's in their custody, well, BlackRock's going to be like, oh yeah, sure, here. And these are the guys that write the policies of the world.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Which means they can change the policy whenever they're ready to suit themselves. Whenever
they're ready. And so like Empath, yes, this is live. So yeah, so here's, you know, here's like, I want to pull up some things, you know, like what really got me like all busted up was, you know, this, I think we've all seen this. You will own nothing and be happy. Like, who in the goddamn are you to tell me that I will own nothing and be happy? Like, who are you to develop these policies? That you're going to say, no, your life is going to be controlled by Facebook and Uber and, you know, Costco. Like, you know, it's like Wall-E. Did you ever see Wall-E from?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like
great prediction. Great prediction.
Great prediction.
Yeah.
Great prediction. You know, and like, you know, I want to read this. I want to read this though. Let me share this. So I pulled this up the other day on AI. So the phrase "you will own nothing and be happy" is a controversial statement originated from the World Economic Forum article suggesting a future where individuals rely on shared resources and subscription services rather than traditional ownership. And okay, like you read that, that's great, but who owns this stuff? Right? Somebody owns it. So these are shared resources. So like, okay, if it's a shared resource, who pays for it and who owns it? You know, no, it's not a shared resource. It's a shared resource if it's free. That's called communism.
Yeah, facts.
You know, I was just reading a book or an article on the USSR. You know, like people starving. You know, communism. And my parents came from communist Cuba. You know, they had to leave, and when they were young, very young, back in 1959.
Wow.
And that's when the revolution ended, but they call it the revolution started, but they ended up leaving about, I want to say 12 years after the revolution, or the Fidel Castro took over. And man, communism, great idea, but you need that push. You need that oomph.
Yeah.
You know, USSR back in 1991, this is the article that I read. USSR back in 1991, they had all of these social quotas that they had to make, right? And it was less efficient for them to actually get food into people's mouths than to meet these quotas. And so there was all this food that rotted, all right? Cattle that got slaughtered, that just rotted, grain, all that stuff just went completely bad.
Wow.
Because they had all these bunk quotas that they had to meet that had to fit, you had to fit a round peg in a square hole. And then what ends up happening is a whole bunch of people starved, right? You had people, they would go to the market. Hey, yeah, we don't have meat for you. We don't have, bread for you. We don't have buckwheat for you, which is a big grain over there in Russia. And a lot of people starved. Now, they didn't starve to death like so bad, like back in the Stalin era, right? Where like literally, I think it was like tens of millions of people died from starvation.
It was really bad.
It's really bad. Really, really bad. But that's not the only time it's ever happened in history, by the way. But it was, and that was like an actual genocide against the Bolsheviks. That's for another story. But still, like, things are so inefficient when you have communism. All right. Now we have socialism. There's things that in socialism that kind of work. All right. I'm all for community, that's communism, community, right? But at the same time, there has to be some like self-accountability as well. There has to be self-accountability as well. And you've got to do what's best for everybody, not just trying to make these quotas to like, because some pipsqueak sitting in some government office decided something was good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think you're 100% accurate with that. Just you hit it on the head, man. I mean, we really have to wake up. When you look around, we still see that there are people plugged into the artificial womb in the Matrix, just like in the movie. And they still have that umbilical cord tapped into the back of their neck, And it's time for us to really grab that thing and pop it off and realize what's going on out here. This Matrix is real. They created a sound one too. I mean, this Matrix is so rock solid that at every turn, they have the ability to control what we hear, see, taste, touch, smell, who we like, who we can't like, where we can go, where we can't go. They've made invisible lines on a planet that you can't cross. I mean, they really created a masterpiece of control and domination here. I mean, I think this planet needs to be studied or will be studied by other civilizations as to the mastery of the deception and the design, the grand design for total domination over others. It's probably going to be taught in some type of a multiverse university at some point with what happened here. It's going to be crazy, bro. This is going to be crazy when they really break this down. They probably already have this, what I'm talking about, already exists, They're probably studying us in real time and just going, holy crap, look at this.
Yep.
I just hope that we don't influence another race or species somewhere out there that's watching, influence them to go ahead and implement these control tactics we've created here on Earth so they can go dominate a whole solar system, because they can. The techniques that have been used here on this planet can allow a small group of people to dominate and take over a sector of the galaxy if they implement it properly. They've really found a way to wield the dark forces in a way that allows them to literally control everything and every aspect of life. Yeah. And the only way to stop it is to uproot it. And the only way to uproot that is for the 8 billion people to go after the small group of probably 150 to 200 total and uproot them physically. That's the only way to stop it. Yeah.
I want to look at this comment here that Sunny TM left. All right. And listen, I'm American born. All right. I'm American born, and I'm about to hurt some Americans' feelings because I don't live in the United States. I've lived outside of the United States basically since 2020. I came back for about a year, and then I left again. All right. In 2021, I left again. Within 12 months, I was gone. All right. I've lived in Russia. I've lived in the country of Georgia. I've lived in Costa Rica. I've lived in Panama. I've lived in Mexico. All right. And Sonny says, American people won't stand together to fight for this. And I agree with Sonny here. Nothing will happen unless the majority goes against them as a whole. Like, guys, gals, you have no idea how many COVID anti-jab marches there were in all of Europe, in all over the world. Even Canada, what happened in Canada was like really downplayed. When I was living in the country of Georgia, Billy, there was a protest every single night in the Capitol. And I'm not talking about 100 people standing outside with a sign. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of people. And how do I know this, by the way? I lived right above Georgian Parliament, and it got so bad. I was like, I lived in the most beautiful apartment in the most beautiful part of the city. And I'm like, I would never live here again because it was so loud. Wow. They would come blaring by 5 o'clock. The whole damn street was closed. And this was every single night.
Damn.
Every single night, these guys would come out and they would protest until they got their way. Here in Panama, where I live, I've lived here now for over 3 years now. In 3 years, there have been 3 major protests where they have shut this city, Panama City, down. And it builds up, right? They're like, okay, this is what we want. We want higher wages. We just want to be able to live. We want Social Security. We want all these things, right? They shut the whole damn thing down. It ramps up, and by the end of the month, you like go to the market and you're like, where are the bananas? where are the bananas?
Yeah.
You know, and where's the rice? And you can't find anything. So like, as long as American, like the good thing and the bad thing about America, it's huge. It's good and it's bad. Because like, not everybody's going to fly to DC and stay in DC to like, if they really are sick of this. I mean, come on, you guys, like they were doing child trafficking, the government, and ain't nobody shown up to DC. Like in hordes, I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of people and staying there until you get answers. Nobody's doing that.
No, they're not doing that. No, they're still, if I get out here and do this, then, then, you know, what happens if they get snatched up, or how am I going to pay my bills? It's always a distraction. They have us in America is like, I believe, probably one of the top in debt, not the top, but probably one of the top in debt for the civilian to be in debt. And all that debt piles up too for them control, because the more debt they have you in, the more they can control you. And the more you have to acquiesce to their bidding otherwise, and do their bidding for them. Otherwise, you know, you could be outcasted to suffer. It's just, yeah. You know, I was in Panama when they had one of those rallies. They shut down a couple of streets. And I remember that on the island, they stopped, I guess, the Chiquita Banana Company or something from exporting their bananas. Yeah, you know, and so this is the kind of stuff that goes on, man.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, I'll tell you, 2 of the 3 protests, they actually got their way. Like the protesters got their way.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fantastic. Like somebody stood up to the government and they had to bend the knee, right? Yeah. Like, and governments don't like that. But I'll tell you, like, as long as truly people don't stand up, and I don't see it happening until something really bad happens, civil war or real like civil unrest, let's say that.
Yeah.
I just don't think anybody's going to do a damn thing. Cause like, they're like, well, you know, man, I got Amazon here, you know, like they bring me stuff. They bring me stuff, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like it's very comfortable. I mean, I'll say this, and by the way, I'm not saying anything bad about Americans. Like, I lived in California. Like, I didn't go out and I didn't rally. You know, like they'll have like anti-Trump rallies every once in a while, but it's like, you know, you go to like Laguna Beach, which is super liberal, right? That's where I used to be. And you got a whole bunch of soccer moms holding up things, just no to MAGA. And then they all go home after 2 hours. What the fuck do you think you accomplished? Just, like, this whole thing it's just, I don't know, like, man. Anyways.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild,
like,
man.
Which, by the way, guys and gals, like, I see a lot of people like Antone One saying, you know, like, what's the next move? Like, Billy and I are doing a 2-day event, not this weekend, the following weekend, on August 30th and 31st. You know, I can only speak with what I did. And that was, I voted with my pocketbook. So I decided to get my ass up and leave the country. And so we're going to be talking about these things in this 2-day event. It's $17. We're going to have a whole bunch of giveaways, like $20-some thousand worth of giveaways. Billy's going to be talking about passive income. We have a whole bunch of other people that are going to be experts. Regan Hillier. By the way, did you meet Regan in Mind Valley, Billy?
Oof, I think I did. Yes, I did. I did meet her.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, good.
She introduced me on stage, I believe.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
She was amazing.
So Regan's going to be there. She's helped create, I think, like almost 70 millionaires, woken up millionaires, not woke millionaires, not like George Soros.
Right.
And we got Nick Manel, you know Nick. We got all sorts of other people that are going to be there. A new speaker that we're bringing up, his name's Cliff. I want to introduce you to him. He's a social media phenom. But honestly, you gotta start thinking outside the box, guys and gals. And we're going to be giving you some ideas at this event. It's a 2-day event. The last one we almost sold out of. This one, I think we're going to come really close to it. We had over 1,300 people at the last event. If you can believe that. And this event, we're going to do it. So I think, Billy, you have that in the link here in the description.
Yeah.
And
it's been dropped in the live chat the whole time we've been talking over and over. So look in the live chat for the link and go ahead and click that link and get yourself registered ASAP.
And I know we got a lot of people on X here. Where can they find the link over there?
The link is going to be, it's in my bio.
All right. So the link is in Billy's bio if you're watching this from X. But yeah, we want to invite you all to that, and I think you'll be really, really impressed. It's $17. It's 2 days. We're going live. The last one was a huge success. A lot of people got a lot of value out of it, and I think that we're going to crush it. We're going to be also teaching you decentralized finance. We're going to cram in like weeks worth of content in 2 days. And you're going to have access to those recordings. You can go back. We're going to be showing you how you can become your own bank. I see here somebody was saying like something about the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm my own Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
All right. I don't deal in the Federal Reserve system. My bank hates me because I only use my bank for certain things when I can't use crypto. And now we're going to be showing you all how literally you can literally be spending your crypto from your own crypto wallet.
Wow.
New stuff, new tech that just came out, Billy. And we're going to be showing you all how to do it, how to set up all of that stuff. It's thousands of dollars worth of value for $17. So the link is in here. If it's in X, you can go to Billy's bio and you can check it out there. And yeah, I think we're going to have a really good thing. We have some VIP sections too, where Billy and I are going to go deeper into some stuff there that I think everybody's going to like. And you get access to a couple of different things. So yes, MJ, don't sell your soul. Don't sell your soul.
Yeah.
So,
oh, gosh.
Anyways, getting back to this, Billy, I want to share this. So I had to go looking. I believe it or not, I had to go looking for these allegations. It was really hard to find it. Like I typed in Klaus Schwab.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was like, Klaus Schwab has been cleared of all allegations. And I'm like, what? Just last week I read like he's in deep shit. And now you have him being cleared of all allegations.
Yeah.
And so I had to go through and I had to find it. So like, here's what they found. Investigators noted approximately 63,000 allocated for Schwab's travel to Venice, Miami, the Seychelles, and other luxury destinations. Mm-hmm. The most recent of these trips was a week-long stay in Morocco from late December 2024 to early January of 2025. These specific travel expenses reportedly had little or no evidence of any connection to the form. Yeah, right. Aside from the travel costs, investigators found 14 hotel massages. 14. Who needs 14 hotel massages?
Trying to get to 14 happy endings.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Were expensed by the form. So your tax dollars for his happy endings that you didn't even vote in. You didn't even ask for his help. He gave it to you.
Yep.
On his corporate credit card or that of junior employees, according to the Wall Street Journal. The report stipulated that Schwab later paid for about half of these services. Oh, okay, thanks. 7 of his happy endings were paid for by him. Maybe. He probably got a little cash on the side. They're like, oh, no, we'll take care of you, Mr. Schwab.
Yeah.
Schwab, however, reportedly said he always instructed assistants to bill him for massages. What is going on over there? Other concerns stemmed from work conducted on luxury property owned by the WEF called the Villa Mundi, located on Switzerland's Lake Geneva. Investigators say Schwab hired a design firm that they had used personally in 2019 to perform costly refurbishments on the property's interior. Then they alleged Hildy is his wife, largely used the web property for private use. Investigators found the Schwabs reportedly denied directing the internal design project or using the building for private events. Like, sure. Yeah, right. Like, I don't know. The list just goes on and on about like here's more than 1 million in questionable event expenses. I can guarantee you it was more than that.
Oh, yeah, way more.
Yeah. Not a million.
Tens of millions.
Tens of millions, if not more than that, to be quite honest with you. Like man. Yeah. Anyways, this is just a complete abuse. And again, who's funding all of this stuff? It's not like people out of the goodness of their heart are donating to the WEF, right?
No.
I see a lot of these things with these toxic vaccines. We can say that now, to children. They're hanging out outside of the malls here all the time. Oh, did your kid get vaccinated? It's just like, I don't know, like what is it? And it's all tied into like all this big pharma, all this stuff. But then then this pops up just a few days ago. So WEF clears founder Schwab of wrongdoing, appoints interim co-chairs. And who's this? This is Larry Fink.
Yep.
CEO of BlackRock.
Yep.
CEO of BlackRock. All right. And they put in some other guy. I don't know who he is. Maybe you know who he is, Billy. Andre Hoffman. Do you know who he is?
Let me see his face.
No, I don't.
That's not. Oh no, it's not him. Okay, so that's the other guy.
I don't know. I don't know who it is. But when you dig into BlackRock, like again, going back to like who owns the majority? Who owns the majority of the companies in the United States, hence the United States corporation, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
And look at this.
Yeah, look at it. They're in everything.
This is BlackRock. This is what
Every-
BlackRock has their
Every major media outlet, they hold, their holdings are huge in each one. They control the media also.
They control the media, but most importantly, look at all of these. Like, let's see if I can zoom in. This is kind of like grainy. What do all these things have in common? It's food. Guys, you know, like I ended up with colon cancer, right? And I was buying a lot of these products and I didn't even know, even the organic ones now they own.
Yep.
Right? In the United States.
Yeah, they even have the patent on the seeds. So you can't say, I'm going to go buy some seeds. Well, the seeds are automatically GMO and they're patented.
Yep. And you know, I'm sure you've heard like what happened in India where, you know, these farmers, I can't, man, it's been so long since I heard about this, but from what I understood, you know, these farmers had to basically bend the knee to, man, what's the name of that? Monsanto.
Yeah.
And they ended up, they would get like sued. They would lose all of their land. And I think like the seeds, they were supposed to be like all this drought resistance and all this stuff. And they ended up being like worse. And these farmers all went like bankrupt. And there was like this mass suicide of farmers.
Yep.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was for the policies.
Yeah. And so like, and who owns those things? You know, like this is all tied together, right? This is all tied together. So now you have, again, unelected officials coming in, dictating what's best for all of us.
Yep. Literally.
Not me. Like I'm out of the banking system. I'm out of the banking system. You know, look at this. Who owns Apple? Like, and it's not just BlackRock. It's also Vanguard, right? It's also Vanguard. Vanguard owns a tremendous amount of companies. They're like right up there with BlackRock. Maybe that's where that Andre guy is from. I don't know.
Wow. It's crazy.
But anyways, like this is now it's I don't know. In my opinion, like what I've done, I'm moving to places that are like more decentralized, that are a little bit more autonomous with, you know, the decisions you can make. There's so many other places in the world where you can, places where people kind of stick up for themselves. They may not always win, but they definitely stick up for themselves. Those are the places that I enjoy rolling to, but like these places where the WEF just has their tentacles really, really in, and they've got their tentacles in everything, man. They've got their tentacles in everything. I don't know. I'm just sitting here going like, man, these guys, they're doing a really, really, really good job at taking over. What do you think, man?
No, they're very methodical. And this is something that has been going on since thousands of years ago. They know how to move in the shadows, and the Animal Tablets, Thoth calls them the Dark Brothers, not because their skin is black, but because they hide and they move in the shadows. And they methodically have laid out a plan in which they would, you know, take over and dominate over. So it's up to us now to find the breadcrumbs to get out. And that's what you teach at the ARC. We're teaching people there is a solution to this doom and gloom. There's a solution. There's a way out. And how do we find our way through the darkness? Well, that's why you got to click that link that's been posted in the live chat under the caption of this video or audio, and register for the event coming up next weekend, because it's going to be huge. It's going to be an amazing event. You're going to learn things that you can apply right now, starting today or that day. You'll get knowledge that you can apply as you hear it. it's a different thing. And then, of course, getting the education on crypto and what crypto actually is, because most people still don't know. And the whole DeFi platform. So definitely click that link and register ASAP.
Yeah, like again, guys, gals, like I'm out of that banking system, completely out. I live outside of it. I thrive outside of it. And I'm just done with it. You know, I don't do anything centralized. Mostly, you know, like obviously I still go to the market and stuff and all that stuff. But in terms of my finances, I actually decided to get out of it. And there's plenty of ways where you do it and you become the bank and you make the interest that the banks make. And you're not tied to those chains that they designed to do with the Federal Reserve. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the Federal Reserve and how it was set up. Check it out. Was it last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago, I think. And so I'm going to be showing you how you can unshackle yourself. And you can do the things that I'm doing, that Billy's doing, that thousands of our students have done over the years to really get out of that. And if anything, you'll learn how to really vote with your pocketbook. Because like Billy says all the time, you think your vote matters? You really think your vote matters? He votes for himself every single time. I stopped voting. I stopped voting after Obama the first time. I stopped. I was like, this game is rigged. Rigged.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Guys, gals, check it out. I think you'll really like it. And it's going to be a big event. It's going to be awesome. We already have a ton of people that have signed up, and leading to the event, we'll probably have way more. So
yeah.
Anyways, man.
Hey.
What should we do, Billy? What should we do with all of this?
We want to rally the people together to come on in here and get some of this knowledge. Really, the best thing we can do is just keep spreading knowledge, love, light, and giving people the influence to do right, and be the light. And that's what we do. So we just have to be consistent with dropping these seeds, and in time, these seeds are going to grow into massive trees. And we just have to have confidence and trust in the system that these seeds that we're dropping will propagate and will help to create a new paradigm shift on this planet.
Yeah. And I do believe that, like, again, if you pay with your attention on social media, on all these things, then yeah, you're going to get sucked into it. And that energy just keeps feeding it, right? The algorithm loves it. Like, but you can also start turning your attention to better things in the algorithm. That's why, like, I tell you, Billy, like, you're one of the few channels that I watch. I watch like cooking channels now. Yeah. Meditation. I do breath work with Sandy. I don't know if you ever seen him. He's like really good with breath work. He's got a channel that's growing super fast right now on YouTube. I watch Robin Williams comedy. I don't know, like, I just started rewatching Robin Williams comedy. Like, I want to laugh in the morning when I wake up. I want to laugh. Right. Instead of just getting on like, oh man, okay, what's going on with Epstein? Where's Trump at? Like, man, I really want to laugh. And it's funny because, like, back when Robin Williams was around, even I catch myself, like, he was so real about what he would say about everybody. And it was funny, like, he knew a way to, like, kind of make fun with everybody, but, like, make fun of himself at the same time and not be so offensive, but he spoke his mind. You know what I mean? He spoke his mind. And, like, I would encourage you guys to go watch, like, because I'm telling you, times have really changed. When you take a look at, like, comedy today and comedy back then, I'm sitting here going, like, man, they really have learned how to silence us. Yeah, they really have learned how to silence us even through that. I don't know. It's kind of a trip. Yeah, kind of a trip. Yeah, man. But anyways,
well, it's wild and it's crazy, and we have to present it to the people. But we have the breadcrumbs, so we have the way out. We have the way out. You just got to be willing to take a risk and have some faith in yourself. Yeah. So click that link and register for the ARC webinar coming up next weekend. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to be a part of it. You know, the last time we had one of these, I got a lot of people that I've met either at a couple of conferences in Amsterdam, and they've been bringing you up, you know, bringing up Gven, bringing up the Ark. I'm like, wow, okay, nice. So it's spreading around the world for sure.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, guys and gals. Thank you, Billy.
All right.
And thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Next week. It's going to be a great week too.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
Yep. Got to manifest a powerful, great week. And we'll see them on the next one.